Welcome back to Mega Man Zero 2. Last time, we got through 2 temples. Today, we're getting through 2 temples. So yeah, I've said before, this is kind of the fortress of the game. Which is a little longer than the first game and a little more repetitive. Cause yeah, we've seen the generic temple, and we've seen the Temple of Fire. So now we're going to the Temple of Ice. And you can probably figure out what we're doing here. Especially since, admittedly, I did already kinda spoil it, but I mean, we saw one Guardian show up. We're not going to see the other Guardians appear. It's gonna happen. So yes, here we are in this stage. So, right, back to the Rockman Zero Idea booklet, the one for the soundtrack. So, for the track Meltdown, I did not mention this one last time, but this is for Fefnir and the Temple of Flames. The temples refer to areas which protect an important point named Sanctuary. The Temple of Flames is, in essence, Fefnir's territory. He directly commands execution troops, used for military actions, a powerful reef to represent his rough and violent nature. As the name Dragonflame suggests, only scorched earth remains after he sweeps through. Janitors hate him. This track is Cool-Hearted Fellow. Leviathan is in command of bases located in both poles or along the coasts. That's a lot of potential locations, but okay. Her original specialty is information gathering and management, yet what caused the Cool her to burn so much? I already mentioned this happened before, so I don't mind mentioning it now. She shows the armed phenomenon, something she barely never does. Doesn't sound like the correct grammar, but okay. And attacks Zero for fun. Is this her actual nature? So anyway, right here we've got a Rising Water section, which isn't as immediately lethal as the Rising Lava section. But it is very annoying, because things just drop on your head. The Hermit Crab enemies are very annoying, though I don't like the fish much either. This is pretty much just a section of, things are going to fall on top of you. Have fun with that, idiot. Also, I was calling it the armored phenomenon before. Much like with calling Harpooia Hypera, that's just how I remember it and how my brain wants to say it. Because I don't think armored for phenomenon is necessarily the bad title for them. But it is armed phenomenon. So yeah, I will try to actively think about how to say it so I say it right. Otherwise, I won't. Again, like with Harpooia. Excuse me, I've got my shots up to date. You didn't catch nothing from me, lady. So yeah, Leviathan really does not care about what Elpisa is doing. She's just going to fight us because she's battle horny. So, she's going to give you a seizure. And when she's done with that, she's gonna turn into this watercraft thing, I guess. So yeah, this battle is annoying. She's got a dash attack. I had to jump over that one. She's got these dragons, which will try to trap you. You can slice through them if they do. They're just trying to keep you in place for when she rams you. Or does this, where she brings in options, which kind of just space invaders at you. So yeah, the big problem with this fight is differentiating her ram attacks. You kind of have to do it last second, but you don't really have a lot of time to do it at a last second. It's one of those things where it's not frame perfect or anything, but still, if you're anticipating one and you're wrong, you're going to get hit. And there's not really anything to differentiate her attacks, unfortunately. She even has the same haha for both of them. So yeah, I'm not a fan of this fight either. You might be able to see a pattern or hear a pattern from me at this point. There are just a fair few bosses in this game, and some maybe enemy placements that I just don't like at all. Alright, well, bye. Okay, so we'll leave it here. And CL really wants us to rest, but, we're not going to. 'Cause I mean, I've already done 2 in 1. So I'm gonna follow that up with another 2 in 1. It's 4 stages before the final stage, and it's just better to cut them, 2 per video. Not to say I'm opposed to having a 6-minute long Mega Man Zero video, but, I do kinda wanna get through this endgame, and I might as well get through multiple stages in one, because, yeah, they're, really short. Also, she said the 3rd Neo Arcadia area. We've already been through 3, though. I guess Rainbow Devil is too big to be a slug, but not big enough to be important in the eyes of anybody. His temple doesn't count, that one was just for funsies. Alright, so, off we go to the final area before the actual end of the game. So, let's see, we're bringing up, the track The Cloudy Stone. Makes thunder rumble and wraps storms around him and appears gallantly. This is the theme of the beautiful young man Harpooia. See, what I tell ya, everybody in this series is androgynous. I mean, that's probably overstating it a little bit, and a lot of that does hinge on Harpooia being the way he is, but, you know. I do think in general this Zero series is relatively androgynous. Part of me wants to say everybody's Bishi, but that's not really true either. Anyway though, yeah, he intercepts Zero in the Temple of Wind to protect Yggdrasil. We'll hear that name later. There's actually supposed to be a Temple of Darkness too, but lordless temples are omitted in the game. Phantom's already dead, you don't have to rub it in his face. That being said though, yes. There was planned to be a Temple of Shadow, and that does actually mean there was supposed to be, an arm phenomenon for Phantom as well. There's even concept art for it, which, I think looks similar to a design we haven't seen yet, which we'll see down the line, so, keep your eyes peeled for a particular Mutos Reploid with a bat design. Yeah, I just think looks kinda similar, so, nice that they repurposed that or whatever. I mean, I don't know that they actually repurposed it. It absolutely could just be a coincidence. Wait, I'm on YouTube. I can just say anything as a declarative statement. Yeah, no, it's definitely the same. they definitely just rescued that from the scrap heap. I know I haven't seen it in my primary source, but you know, based on vibes, I'm pretty sure that I am correct about all things. But yeah, no. I just think it's kind of similar, so it could very well be. Also, as a note, yes, every time I say armed phenomenon, I do just think do, because, you know, just sounds too similar to Phenomena. Phenomenon and Phenomena are far too similar as words. Why did the English language do this? Are they stupid? Oh, hey! Well, I mean, Harpooia's taken a knee, so he did lose, but it's been a while since we've seen El Piso, so Harpooia must have slowed him down enough that, we actually get to meet him again. So that's better than nothing. Then again, so far he's just dashed off, so chances are he'll do that again. We're kind of bad at keeping up with him. I'm going to kill all the humans, except for Ciel. I like her. Destroy X? No, that one's my friend. I won't let that happen. I won't let you kill Master X. Yeah, he's my boyfriend. Yeah, what? What? Yeah, no, I have amnesia, but I do remember that now. No, I really don't. You seem like a pompous ass, if I'm being entirely honest. I don't like you. I'm so invincible. If you fight me, you're not even going to see a health bar on account of how invincible I am. I'll never be owned ever again. And since I can't be owned, all of my ideas are good now. I mean, I probably won't, but thanks anyway, I guess. Oh. I guess Harpoo is getting bullied by children. So yeah, the other arm phenomenon were brought about, on purpose because the other two were battle horny. Harpoo has had to be forced because he is apparently the closest thing to responsible the Guardians have. Ooh. So right, after he gives you a seizure, he becomes an aircraft. It's reminding me a little too much of Aztec Falcon with his head shape, so I'm gonna have to kill ya. Also, geez, yeah, just a good old classic shot of Yamaro. Those missiles are actually pretty hard to dodge and or destroy, so my recommendation is get behind Harpooia before he actually uses them. Ram, you just kind of have to get under him at the best point you're afforded. This attack, just get behind him and stay far away, because yeah, it's difficult to avoid those otherwise. Really, my advice to you is just be behind him as much as you can. Also kill him before he does his EX attack. Basically, he just creates a vacuum that draws in debris and then spits it out, so I never learned how to avoid that. So if he'd successfully pulled it off, you wouldn't have seen this take, because I would have gotten hit, but yeah, if you can just kill him beforehand, all the better. Right, the good news is, we were at least able to knock the babies out of Harpooia. Unfortunately, after that beating, I don't think we'll be seeing him again. I think he needs to go rest. Well, goodbye. So, while we're leaving for the base, there is the track named Harpooia. His mind is one step from being controlled by the Dark Elf, but his strong beliefs of being the true worshipper of X and protector of humans defect her power. By facing Zero, he begins to question Neo Arcadia's justice. Now that Copy X is gone, he's searching for his own justice. Good for him. But yeah, he was resisting the power of the Dark Elf, so even if he was attacking us, he was giving it his best to not do that. He was not able to control his body, but he could scream about it. much better. Alright, so we've gotten through both stages, and the next stage is the final one. However, I'd just like to go through a few things, and then say our goodbyes to everybody in the base. First off, we've now gotten all of these Cyber Elves. There are no Cyber Elves in the final area, so if there are any you don't have, you missed them, you gotta go back to a different stage, they're not ahead of you anymore. Also, before we go, here's Harpooia's arm phenomenon. In case I haven't shown the others, here are them as well. Because yeah, they all have concept art, but yeah, Phantoms is the most interesting because he doesn't actually get to use his in-game, because he's dead.
Plus, like, he's the only one that doesn't make me immediately think vehicle, which, technically speaking, he's, I guess, is supposed to look a little like, I don't know, a spaceship or something, some kind of weird drone. All of them are supposed to have animal aspects, but yeah, armed phenomenon forms aren't my favorite because I kind of just like them when they're people-sized, and yeah, I see the vehicle before I see the animal. Like, Fafnir I just see as having a car, not having quad dragons, which sounds kind of cool, but it's just a car. Yeah, he's driving a car.
But yeah, as we go through and say our final goodbyes to everybody in the base, because ending the game off, we want to see how everybody's doing at the end. Meanwhile, I've got a couple more forms that I've not mentioned yet. We've seen Erase and Rise, those are the only ones I managed to get through the entire game. No comment. I think I mentioned the Power form. Yeah, that sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that because it's the one that doesn't get its third attack in the combo, which, if you know what you're doing in the Zero games, you do actually want to get that 3-hit combo with the Z-Saber. I mostly go for charge shots, so it's not as much of an issue for me, but it is still kind of just worse than a lot of other things. So, in that case, the only other forms to mention are Protoform, which you get for finishing the game. It is not a red color scheme, though. I guess it is supposed to be more of a reference to the concept of prototypes rather than Proto-Man. He's long gone. This doesn't resemble him at all. And, well, actually, no, in fairness, if we're talking the Wii games, some of this might seem familiar. Protoform does actually increase your damage for all weapons, but it comes with many, many drawbacks. Zero takes 2 times damage, and basically consider every weapon as having only 1 star, so you can't actually charge with anything except for the shield boomerang. But to go even further beyond, you also only get 1 slash with the Z-Saber. So yes, you might be wondering, that doesn't sound like it's a reward for beating the game. Is it supposed to be good? Not really. It is mostly there for self-imposed challenges. If you want to fight the bosses, or, you know, just play the game in general with less, then there you go, you have a form that sucks. However, if you're playing hard mode, that's just the form you're stuck with. You have to play hard mode with Protoform. So yeah, it's kind of just the conduit through which hard mode actually exists. So it is just sort of a hard mode in of itself, but you can also activate it in a normal mode, so I guess that's kinda nice if you care? I don't. I've certainly never used Protoform. It's just seemed like a bad idea. But yeah, if you want a more challenging game, then there you go. Protoform exists. Now, you remember how I mentioned how, this game, I think my wording was like, this game's equivalent to Ultimate Mode from the first game? Something like that. That's because this game doesn't have an Ultimate Mode. It does, however, have an Ultimate Form, which, if you want something similar in design to Zero's default design, it does actually look pretty similar. It's kind of, it's got the red and purple, but I feel like it's got a... I don't know how to describe that, really. I'm not exactly the best at color theory, but it does look like they made it a little more vivid.
Plus, I don't think that the in-between bits of his outfit usually read as purple outside of CGs, but...
yeah, Ultimate Form is unlocked by finishing the game with all Cyber Elves used. That's right, it's not just collecting all Cyber Elves. I won't get this after I get Protoform. I would have to kill all of them. I mean, the good news is, once you've done that, you just get to the end of the game, and, you know, you can take as many loops as you want through New Game Plus, it's fine. Just as long as you've used all the Cyber Elves. But yeah, basically, Zero's Ultimate Form does power up all of your weapons, as you'd expect. think it also gives you a few other things, without necessarily, like, ruining your combo like Protoform does. So yeah, you get an overall stronger moveset, probably, I think, stronger combos as well. And also, like in the first game, you basically get instant charge attacks if you do certain inputs. So yeah, it is useful for perhaps people with a bit more fighting game brain than I have. I've never really bothered with those, and I probably won't. I probably could. It's not like they're complicated combos or anything, it's just you have to remember what you need to do for the particular weapon, and I just usually don't. But yeah, the drawback to this game having an ultimate form instead of an ultimate mode is you do just have to sit there with a save file where all the Cyber Elves are dead, which does actually kind of put a damper on it for me. I would much prefer to have the ultimate mode, because when you do that, you have the Cyber Elf effects, but I don't think it shows the Cyber Elves as being dead. At least that's not how I remember it. I also don't remember if Zero 2 eternally punishes you for using the Cyber Elves, and if you'll never have a good rank in 2 ever again. I feel like since you'd have all those permanent effects, that would be the case, right? I'd have to dig out a functioning DS and my copy of the Zero collection to check my file to see if that's true, and I don't know if that's doable, but yeah, I'm not going to be getting Ultimate Form, much like I didn't get Ultimate Mode or Jackson in my re-LP of the first game, though in this case it should be kind of obvious I'm not getting Ultimate Form since I didn't get any other forms after those first other two, so my track record for them isn't great. I do really wish I could have played in such a way where I could have played every stage with kind of a different style. Like, I tried to change up weapons, but honestly, this game does kind of annoy me to the point where I don't really want to mix it up, so you kind of just got Buster and Sword for most of the game. I would have liked to unlock the various forms, but I simply did not do that. I don't really want to. I don't find it that fun. Alright, so yeah, used up all our funds to make these guys good, so we'll just have them on in the background as we go through the final area of the game. This will be our fairy squad to get us through. Not that we're actually going to use them, but they'll be there for us in spirit. Not in like a useful way, but they're there.